Hi Hannah. It's finally nice to put a beautiful face to a beautiful name. We are welcoming you here. You've been trading successfully and received several payouts already. I know several in the prior month, and we're thanking you for joining us, giving us a little bit of your time. I know you're busy because you're actually successfully trading. So I
I'm a
guess.
doctor by profession. No.
So if you can just briefly tell us about you and just a little introduction so everybody meets you.
So Stan, I'm a doctor by profession, so I practice medicine, and trading just happened during the COVID time. I'm a mother of three kids, twins. They're just 9 months old, and I've got a 5 year
Um,
old son. Yes. So my sister, she is a CFA. She's a financial analyst, and so yes, I'm raised in a household where a lot of these things were always spoken about. So when it was COVID, that's the time I got interested in trading because I was one of the frontliners and I was kept away from my family for a year and a half. So I was not with my family. I had bad working hours. So I wanted to do something, learn a skill that would keep me diverted. And that's how I started learning how to trade. So it's been around like I'm not a very experienced trader, but I'm 2.5 years old in trading. Uh, so yeah, that's how it all just started. I started with gold. I mean, that's one of the main instruments that I trade. But I do like to do the currency pairs some once in a while if I get a chance to do the charting, because I do it with my sister. She does all the charting. She'll mark, and then we'll discuss what's happening. And so it's more of me and my sister chit chatting and what's
Pretty
happening in the
cool.
market, what's happening. So we both had a bet. She's like, I'm telling you, the gold is going up. I'm like, no, it's going to go down. And yeah, I just shot up with the news right now. So
Well,
yeah,
that's a
yes,
pretty cool duet. So your CPA, for those who don't know, it's chief, or, basically an accountant and somebody who is proficient in economics, et cetera, right? So.
yeah, and she is basically not an account person, but she analyzes all the financial thing.
Right.
Uh, in India, they call it chartered accountant, but in UK, US, it's considered as chief financial analyst. So
Okay.
they do a pretty yeah. So they see what is happening with the market, the fundamentals, the sentiments, and all the
Okay.
technical analysis. And and she uses more tools, trend lines and stuff. So I picked up on that. And yeah, so we are up by 2 o'clock when the market is open, and that's the time we would like to, see what we want to do with trades because she works, I work.
Right.
Um, I I started doing trading a lot more from the last 6 months because I had a complicated pregnancy, so I was put on bed rest, and I had nothing to do, so I started trading because I just had to divert my mind. So all my and my son, everybody, they're like, okay, so mom, market's going up, down. Like he keeps asking me about that. So yeah, so that's when I started. But as you can see, I'm a completely my background is medical. This is something else. So, but this is important, and I like to help. A lot of housewives and people who are not really doing well financially to help them kind of learn earn money through passive income.
Right.
So I have a few partners who are traders. So I help the people who are interested in learning how to trade. So they teach them and if they want to invest and stuff like that. So I'm
Right.
big on funded account. Only reason I'm on funded account is that I think the main element in trading is that emotions come in, especially like if that
Oh yeah.
spike and you're like, oh my God, that money is in red, so that many people don't realize that. And that's the time we tend to make wrong decisions, you don't want to like hold on. And I think you might do everything right. You might mark your levels right. You will learn all your candlestick patterns and whatever. But if you don't have that control over your emotions, that's it. You're just, and I've done it multiple times. Believe me, I've done it really
And we all
multiple
go through
times.
that. Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
still learning.
Well, first of all, you're a doctor, and so it already requires obviously a very a degree of an intelligence and competency to achieve to become a doctor. So you already know, you can't just panic. Somebody comes in with a missing arm or something. Just making stuff up. But even for that, I'll tell you a quick story. My grandpa, he finished school with all the super A's and gold medal. He was the valedictorian, etc. So he had to pick where to go. He wanted to become a doctor. And so he was quite intelligent. And at the first, everything was going fine. First, as soon as they wheeled in the cadaver, and he was like, "No fucking way, I'm down with it," because they start cutting it up. And he's like, "All right, this is definitely not for me." So just a
Yes.
fun story. But the best trader I know who trades S&P minis futures, S&P 500,
Yes.
the indices, he is actually a doctor. And he said, Stan, after 10 years doing both, he's like, why am I even doing it being a doctor? I'm making 20 times more. And he was a very successful doctor too. So he's making millions and millions of dollars trading. And it's after like doing it for 10 years both, he is like, all right, maybe I should just stick to trading and not work those long hours because it's doctors with these schedules. I still don't understand. I mean, I kind of get it, but I never understood why they push you to stay in a hospital for 12, 18, 24 hours because kind of I don't want to talk to a doctor who's been out for 23 hours like a zombie. Well, I know I'm being very I'm
No,
kidding
but
about it, right?
again,
But
unfortunately, this is the brutal reality. I think that's why many physicians have just, especially after COVID, I think it was a lot of exhaustion. I've worked 3 days straight, 2 days off, 3 days, then 2 days off. That's how our working thing was, and I think again, it's all business, it's all politics. I think now the physicians are just white coat wearing salesmen. We are just
yeah,
supposed to promote
yes,
drugs, or
yes,
I'm sorry. I don't like to practice that kind of medicine.
I agree.
So that's the reason. So I do my own small practice, and and for that I need my liberty. I need that financial independence, and that I think that comes with the trading. So I'm not practicing medicine because I want to be like, that I need an income to run the house. I think I do pretty well because I think that is important. Once you feel that you're financially stable, you can do things that you like. And I think this is why people, if they learn a skill to trade, it is a good skill to know. That's
Absolutely.
personally that's what I
And
feel.
I know a lot of people who started trading during COVID, especially a lot of younger people usually come through a crypto world because that's what they know. They were exposed to
Yeah.
crypto, and then after crypto, they kind of realize crypto gets a little crazy, and you want to trade something more stable. So they switch into currencies, gold or indices, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're a perfect example of somebody who started only a few years ago, but with due diligence and putting in the work, you obviously well, the proof is in the pudding with the payouts, right, and everything. So
Yeah.
it's work. It's never a straight line up. We all understand that because there's always ups and downs, and
Yeah.
that's part of trading. And you have to be okay with that uncertainty. But once you get comfortable being uncomfortable, that's when you
Yes.
become more successful. But it's a skill set that allows you independence, and independence is, I think, it's freedom. It truly is freedom. That's why I kind of I wouldn't go work in a corporate world for any money in the world, pretty much, because why am I going to expose myself to that? Listen to somebody, be there on time, do this on time. Why? If but it takes a lot of discipline also for those who are younger people. It's very hard not to be distracted when you're sitting by yourself at home and there's a phone call here, there's a TV show there, there's food over there. So you have to actually become an adult, so to speak, and monitor your time correctly when you're working from home and not be distracted easily. Oh, let me do this, let me do that. And it takes a little time to get used to being focused, because it's one thing for example, when you're in the library, aka let's say work, right? There's nothing else to do but to read the book in the library. You're not going to type on the phone. You're not going to be, well, I know most people never been to a library probably nowadays, right? Well, age 30. So, but yeah, hopefully they get the metaphor. So, but yeah, how do you, what was your first approach to, what was this transitioning period like? Well, I know your sister kind of, brought you a little bit, it helped you a little bit, into this
Yeah.
world. And, but what was the, what was the journey like? For example, you were trading demo first, and you started dabbling with a little bit of count. And when did you go from losing to kind of like break even, and then maybe you're making profits? How well, can you just briefly describe how that looked
Sure.
like?
I never traded on demo. I was always like, I always wanted to trade in
A risk
with
taker.
yeah. The only reason being, I think, because I understand the human psychology, and a demo, I will not bind. Like, how do I learn to control my emotions on demo? Because at the end of the day, it's not my money. That if
Right.
if the post cost profit, okay, good, it's making profit. But loss, I always enter a trade thinking about the loss first. So, okay, I know this is, if I enter this, this is my loss. Profit, good if it comes. I think that is what I wanted. Until date, I think it has come down now, because when I started, I was like, I can do everything right, but again, this is human error. Okay, I like to call it the human error. When you trade, and if you're not calm, and if you're not calculated your risks, you will make a wrong decision. So I've learned from that. So I personally don't like demo accounts, because that is not going to help me control my emotional state of mind, my human psychology. So I have to know, okay, I have to understand, if I am in a good situation, like, oh wow, it's making profit. If it I was at the other, if imagine I had bought at 1917 right now gold, and right now it's like 1933, I would be like, oh, it's going to go up, God no. But again, I need to have the control. No, 100 pips and I'm out of the market. No matter, let it go up, let it go down. I mean, I think that discipline is important, and that's the reason I never traded in demo. I started off with $1,000 account, then I moved up to $10,000 account. So that's how I tried to understand my limits on how much I can handle. Like, trading, but it's very difficult when you trade at $1,000, then you trade at a 10,000, then you go to 20, then you cannot come back to 1,000.
Right.
Till date I still have a small account, because I like to share some of my trades with the group, just to keep myself grounded, that it
Okay.
is good to even earn $10-20, because there are people out there who don't even do that. So
Right.
that is the kind of things I try to keep myself grounded that way, so that to not lose practice, and just always, oh wow, it's 1,000, 2,000, $4,000 I'm earning at once, and then you look at it. So I think that was very important. So that's how I started, not the demo. Just did this slowly, slowly. And yes, the reason I moved to funded, I thought, again, this is to teach me discipline. I think funded accounts really teach me a discipline. I know that there is a certain limit to it, and even if I give in to my human emotions, that's it. It's gonna cut down, and I'm gonna come back. So I'm maybe because of my profession, I'm very used to giving exams again and again. So it doesn't mind me if I have to go through the evaluation again, do it. I think that is good practice. I think that it makes me come back. I need
Well,
that
absolutely.
reason. Yeah. So I think
I
that
think
that is important for everybody, because market is very unpredictable at times. I mean, you might do everything right, but then there's always something out there. So yeah, so that is one of the things. I came across your this funded account, because I used to read your analysis, and
okay.
there were a lot of Apex Bull scammers out there. So first, I wanted to, join the Signal group of Apex Bull, because I read reviews. It was really good. I was like, yeah, okay, I want to try this. But the first time that I lost money, it was actually a scam account of Apex Bull, and I remember that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had
So people understand that people they're mimicking the Apex Bull, brand to scam on Telegram. So we
yes,
have a banner on the
yes,
website that says this is the only
yes.
official Telegram group. Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
There
yeah.
was really, I think that's how I started. So that's how, when I got to know, oh wow, Stan has started in Dubai. I was like, well, this is great, because we've got an office here. And I mean, at least now this would be a funded account in the region where I am from. So this is good. So it's like, okay, that's how I decided to come to
Oh,
this. Yeah, I think because for me, I mean, of course, we don't know each other personally, but because I used to read a lot of your analysis, that name factor and that that brand authentication was always there with me, and that was
thank you.
important.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Just to summarize, because you've given a lot of. I'm honestly blown away from what you've been saying after only 2 or 3 years of trading, because two things, well, three things. First of all, you talk about fundamentals, meaning you always ground yourself, you stay disciplined, so your ego doesn't run away. That's very important in trading, and that's why I always tell younger guys do some form of meditation, some kind of grounding process. You find it through trading multiple sizes, and which brings me to another point. The biggest problem in banks or hedge funds is to push traders to trade ever bigger account sizes, because at certain level your ego just cracks, and well, you can grow. There's a process growing into it, and I always give this example. We had this phenomenal trader guy, but his limit was $5 million. You can give him $1 billion fucking, but at $5 million profit, he would just his brain switches off. For him, that was enough. That's it. He's done for the year, done. And no matter the minute you would give him a little more, it would just the wheels would start coming off, and that's it. That was his range. He was making about 25-50 grand a day, plus or minus. At the end of the year, he would be about 5 million in profit, and that was his. That's how much he can handle it. 50, 60 G's a day, and so it's important to actually grow into the size step by step, and that's how you start. You start with $100 account, and I completely agree with the demo is only there maybe for you to just learn how to click the buttons, right? And after that, you should be trading, even if you only have $100. Just do the $100, then do 1,000, then scale up, and then if you don't have 100 grand, get a funded account where you can be provided that, and you can scale. So completely agree with that. And the biggest thing that you've said, which most people don't understand, is actually you control the risk first. It's not most people look, oh, I can make $10,000, I can make $5,000, $1,000, and this is normal human view, so to speak. And in trading, you have to reverse everything. And the first thing you should be doing is controlling the risk, and that's where most people get in trouble. They don't even think about it. No stop losses, no nothing, and they just or at least I'm not talking about physical stop loss, at least mental stop losses, some kind of risk control where they say, if this market is moving this direction, I have to be out, and you have to understand how much you're going to lose instead of adding to positions and getting into trouble. Hi, little guy. Yeah, that's all
Say
right.
hello.
Big man.
So he watches me trade a lot.
Well, that's actually very important because if he picks it up at his age, he's gonna be he's gonna do better than me and you put together. Hi, don't
I
worry
have,
about it.
I have, I'm so sorry, really. No, I've got three boys, and I mean, my twins have, I think they have seen their mom trade while they were in my room itself. So I know they definitely have to get the hang of it. And this boy, now he knows. He's like, Mom, he knows about it. Like, should I sell? It's all red, Mom. Why should I do this? So
Well,
I think so. In my family, like, okay, you're going to make all your sons traders. I think eventually, right? They should have that skill. So I
it's
don't
a beautiful skill to have. You can be an engineer in a company in Google, or a doctor, or whoever you want to be, and you don't have to do it full time. You can still do partial time and still make. You can bring him over. You can sit down. It's all right. Join the interview. It's a good practice to have, right? Now he's going to be learning how to interview at a very
know.
young age. So by the time he is 20, he'll be a celebrity level speaker. So
No, and no, but actually, Stan, I have this. I have my own company, right? So in that, because health and wellness, so I touch on the financial wellness bit. So a lot of school students, a lot of people who are interested to learn. So financial wellness and training also comes in it. So of course, there are different saving methods, but
Of course.
learning a skill in financial trading is, I do encourage people to, let their children trade on $1,000 account, learn that kind of a discipline. So that element on the wellness wheel. I have a wellness wheel, so it's got a financial wellness element to it. That is the one that runs the most. That's the most successful one, because at the end of the day, nobody cares about my nutrition or the physical activity or emotional health. They all are interested in financial wellness. They're like, Doc,
Yes.
if this is good, everything else is good. I don't need any medications. So yeah, so that's what we do. I mean, that's what I like to do, and that's the reason I also try to make some time to train. um, so again, like, I mean, just uh, preach what I practice, basically.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. It's kids.
Yeah,
But I actually completely agree with you, especially with our school system. It's we're still being, he wants to play, he wants attention. That's okay. It's
yeah.
okay. It's all right.
I'm so
So,
sorry.
well, what do you mean? This is part of life, and this is actually
Mm.
it's very interesting that our school systems don't teach us anything about financial anything, right? We get taught everything but something that we use every day, and one of the most important financial literacy is not pretty much in the younger generations, and teaching people from young age. It doesn't have to be trading, but trading
Yeah.
involves understanding macroeconomic view of the world. And you don't have to be a trader, but you can be an investor and investing. So you eventually you have passive income streams. So you don't have to work till your workforce until you're dead at whatever at 80,
Yes.
doing something you don't like. This way, if you want to work, you can work. You want to
Yeah.
have choices, and trading and investing gives you choices and an ability to live the life on your own terms. And that's the most important aspect. So I commend you on teaching young children financial literacy, because it's paramount skill set, probably more important than calculus. Oh, I think
Sorry, I
but
was
that's
getting a
okay.
call. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We can
This is the reason, Stan. I think we push the appointment every time, and I was like, yeah, and they asked me, I'm like, I'm sorry, you have no
that's
idea,
okay.
juggling three kids, job, and then when this little one is at home, it becomes
I and
really hectic.
let me add to this. So what we're seeing here right now is a doctor who trades successfully and has three kids, and a lot of 20-year-olds who come on these podcasts. They're like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, my life is so difficult, while they're laying in bed all day, right? So this is a perfect example of somebody who's determined, who is successful, and because of actually doing more and more and more and more instead of complaining. And I mean, if there's no excuses for younger kids to be complaining about, oh, I don't have time, I don't have this, da da da, while you're juggling one of the most difficult jobs, being a doctor, with an insane schedule plus kids. So at three boys, you said three boys,
Three boys.
three boys. Jesus Christ! I mean, that's three tornadoes running around the house, and
Yeah.
yet you have you make time to stay focused, concentrated, and win. So I actually it's a great pleasure that we've done this interview, and you came
No, I really, really wanted to, like, I didn't know it's going to be this, honestly. I did not know it's going to be live and recorded. I just thought, oh, wow, I get to meet Stan. I mean, like, he's the guy
right.
who, I mean, I get to see a face to a person whose, analysis I would read and whose signal group I had joined for a while. So I was like, yeah, good. So that was the thing. And I was like, yeah, definitely I have to meet Stan, because I think the world has become, I mean, if there's anything bad or wrong, people will comment instantly, and that's so spontaneous. No, but I think when there's something good happening, people have to come out and really appreciate that, and
Thank
that's a
you.
thing. So this is good, and I truly adore this platform, to be honest, because I've used other funded accounts too. I mean, it's okay, but I think nobody's giving this option of that 100% profit split and then 7 days. So it's
Okay.
really, so that I
Which one?
I've used, at least the ones I've used. So this is good for
Appreciate it.
me. I'm happy. I'm happy with
Well,
that. I love your support team.
thank you. Yeah, well, I love them too, actually. They're doing a good job. Thank you so much. And and it was actually a pleasure to finally, like I said, to put a face to a beautiful name. And I remember you from when we spoke a couple of times on Telegram.
On
So
television.
yeah,
Yes.
so I know who you are. So it's finally well, and now it's a pleasure that you've grown from somebody who just was starting on her journey, and a year or two later, you can see that now you're actually seeing some success and getting payouts, and I only hope that you grow and improve. And like I said, if it's never a straight line up, there will be a little bit of hiccups, but whenever there's a hiccup, my door is always open. Like, that's I like to help people succeed because when I was trading for hedge funds, it always bothered me that I didn't contribute shit to fuck. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but it's basically you're not a doctor, you're not saving lives, you're not an engineer, you didn't build any bridges, you're just providing liquidity in the market, you're shuffling money around, right? So,
Mm,
and then when I started Apex Bull, I wanted all for nonprofit for Miami Beach Tennis Youth Association, so they can play tennis, free rackets, balls, whatever. And tennis is an expensive sport. So it's I kind of finally started giving back because you can't just hoard the money and be all and sit on your big money or pile of money and you don't feel fulfilled inside. So it's
yes.
nice to see that after all the years of doing, you actually see somebody succeed, and it brings smile to my face, and it's a joyful experience. So I thank you too for doing all the I mean, it hasn't, it's never easy as everybody starts on their journey probably, but with determination and perseverance and some time, you see that you can be a doctor and a trader and a mom and a beautiful soul and a human being. So thank you for coming on to making time for us today.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you.
Hopefully we can do a follow-up interview sometime in the future. Uh, when you're less busy and maybe when you're on vacation, you can show us your boat or a plane, and then but yeah, but
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thank you.
thank you so much for coming over, and to many more successes in your future.
Thank you, Stan. Same to you.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you soon.